Hey, and welcome to the question and answer video blog. First of all, I'd like to say that the question and answer segment is back. I did a lot of these about a year ago, and what started happening was the questions started petering out, and I had a lot of just a few small people asking questions over and over. So it's time to reboot, get things going. And if you have a question you want to get through to me, I've decided probably the easiest way to do it is to go to my website, because there is a way for you to send a contact email question through. So you just go to my website, which is motormouth.ca, and in the upper right hand corner you'll see that contact tab. Click on that, fill in your email, your question, and get it through to me. It's really easy for me because it all comes in on one sort of email form. Much easier for me to get all of the questions instead of putting them below. So I have some that I have received here over the last little while to kind of get us kicked off. So let's jump into some of these questions and find out what people are looking at. All right, this first one comes from Bob, and he says, I noticed that JD Power and Associates rating that Audi wasn't mentioned. I did a radio show recently and I was talking about JD Power and Associates, and he said you didn't mention it in the interview. I'm considering a brand new Q5. I thought that Audi was near the top of the past few years, and is it safe to buy the first year of a new model? Well, typically it's never the best idea to buy a first year of anything. There's some exceptions out there. You know, if you're going to pick a Lexus or a Toyota, Porsche, vehicles that are right at the very top in terms of reliability studies, then you're probably okay. And my reply to him was, the Q5 is made up of a bunch of different vehicles. It shares the same platform, engine, and components as the new Audi A4 and A5 family of vehicles, even the Q7 for that matter. And the Q7 is now been out for at least a year. And the engines that are powering the new A4 and A5, they've been out for almost a year now as well. So yes, the Q5 is new into the marketplace. It's just being delivered to dealerships now, but the engine, the transmission, and the platform has been out for over a year now. So it would be better to look towards European consumer sort of replies from JD Power and Associates if they have a European version of Consumer Reports, but JD Power ranks them quite high. So yes, you're taking a bit of a flyer on a brand new vehicle, and yes, those engines and transmissions and platforms have been out for a while, but not for a long period of time. So that was my answer to Bob. So he wrote back and said, you know what, it's going to be under warranty anyway, so I think I'm going to get it. And it is a wonderful product. I had a chance to drive it. All right, this next question says, it's from Dan. He says, I like your reviews. I'm not sure what to decide. I'm thinking of buying my first car in the luxury compact sedan segment. I'm really interested in your A4 video that I watched. Which one would you recommend? An Audi A4, a BMW 3 Series, or a C-Class from Mercedes-Benz? Well, if you go on who has the newest and latest product in the marketplace, the A4 is, I think, the newest, and I think it has the best overall appeal. The BMW is now the oldest. That 3 Series is getting kind of long in the tooth, and it's due for a refresh. The Mercedes-Benz is recent. It has a beautiful interior, nice looking styling, many different engine choices, but it's not as fresh and new as the A4. And I didn't do my top 10 of last year, and I probably should have. The two vehicles that I had sort of tied for first place last year were the GLC, the new Mercedes compact crossover vehicle, and the A4. Now the A4 from 10 meters looks kind of like the old A4. And that's one weakness of the vehicle. It really isn't that great in terms of styling. I think that the BMW and the Mercedes on the outside maybe look a little bit better. On the inside, I'd give the A4 and the C-Class kind of a tie, an edge to the A4 because they have that available digital cluster behind the steering wheel. So get out and drive them all is really the advice, because I can tell you which one I would choose. It would be the A4, but you have to drive them in your situation. For example, if you spend a lot of time in bumper-to-bumper city traffic, then that's kind of where you should drive the car. If you do a lot of highway driving, that's where you should drive the car. So don't just go out for 5 minutes in these. Spend the time, really think about what fits your lifestyle, and often at the end of the day, it comes down to what the monthly payments are going to be, who has the best rates. Next question comes from Carmelo. I'm a subscriber to your YouTube channel and enjoy your reviews. Wanted your opinion. I own a 2012 Volkswagen Touareg TDI. So that's the diesel. It's the exec line. That's the highest trim we have in Canada. Absolutely love it. But based on Dieselgate, I will definitely accept the buyback when they eventually figure it out. So in Canada, we're behind the United States when it comes to diesel remedy for both the Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsche. That's already been decided in the United States, but it's working its way through the system. My wife and I have 2 dogs and enjoy road trips and wish to keep the same size of vehicle. So this is key to the answer to this. What would you consider? Now, I wrote back and I said, if you like the Touareg, maybe consider just getting the VR6, the V6 gasoline, because it's the same product except it doesn't have the diesel engine. Unfortunately, the VR6 does like gasoline and it likes premium fuel, so that's something to consider. Now, the vehicle that I suggested, because if you look at utility vehicles, you go from those compact utilities like the RAV4 CRV size, and then the next biggest size for most manufacturers, we'll pick the RAV4 and the CRV. The next biggest up from the RAV4 is the Highlander. So that's a 7-passenger, 3-row crossover vehicle, quite a bit bigger. Same thing for Honda. When you go from a CRV up to a Pilot, that's 3 rows, 7 passengers, and that's really not the same size as a 5-passenger Touareg. So the vehicle I would recommend, and I actually got my neighbor into one and he absolutely loves it, is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I think the Jeep Grand Cherokee is the jewel of FCA. They have the Hellcat and other things as well, but I think for everyday practicality, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is a wonderful product. It's available with a diesel if you like. It's available with the V6, runs on regular gas, and of course you can get the Hemi. It's built on an older Mercedes-Benz platform. It has great on-road and available off-road capability. It's refined on the inside. It's the beautiful big Uconnect screen available on the inside. The only issue with the Jeep is it can get expensive, and it really does rival a lot of other products. Another vehicle, if you like the diesel from that side, would be the X5 from BMW. So I'm in the same situation with the diesel. I have an Audi A7 and I'm going to get some kind of compensation for that vehicle as well. We'll end on this question. I don't want to go too long and I really want you to get those questions in. Once again, go to my website, motormouth.ca, click on the contact form, get your questions in, and then we'll start to get these question and answers going more often. This is Mike Hill, and he says, between the Infiniti Q60 Red Sport all-wheel drive, the Mercedes C43 AMG, and the Audi S5, with the intention to keep it for 10 years. Now here's the key part. Which one would you choose? Thanks for all your reviews. They're always informative and enjoyable to watch. Well, thanks for that, Mike. All right, so the 3 vehicles, the Infiniti Q60, the Mercedes C43, and the S5. Now, I'll see if you can predict which one I'm going to pick. Now, 10-year horizon. Having owned German cars, a lot of different German cars over the last many years, my advice is always to have these vehicles under warranty. So if you're going to buy the Mercedes or the Audi S5, a good idea is to lease them for 3 or 4 years, and then at the end of the lease, you have the option to buy it out if you want to keep it, and then do an extended warranty. Typically, it only goes for another 2 years. So you're going to get about 6 years, maybe up to 8 years if you get an aftermarket warranty of coverage. Now, the same is true for the Infiniti. The only thing, I would say the Infiniti, based on an overall ability to have, maybe less repairs, but that engine is brand new in the Infiniti line with the twin turbo, 400 horsepower. It's a wonderful car. It looks fantastic. So it really comes down to your pain tolerance for repairs as you get into the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th year. I personally, for high-end premium cars, I'm not really comfortable owning them after about 6 or 7 years. When you start to get into the higher mileage, when things need to be repaired, that's when they become very expensive. So leasing, I think, for many people makes a lot of sense because it keeps you in a newer car, keeps you under warranty, your payments are going to be the same roughly, and then you can get into a newer product. So the one I would choose would be the S5. Now, some people don't like the styling of this car. I think that it looks great, and the thing is, you need to see it in person. The pictures, some people say it kind of looks like a Ford Fusion married to an Audi, and I can see that in the front, but you drive that car with all that horsepower, it's wonderful. The Mercedes C43, as great as Mercedes products are, the drive of them, unless it's the C63, they just don't talk to me personally. Even on their sportiest settings, they're just not as crisp as I would personally like. Some people might like it. The Red Sport is a hell of a lot of fun. So you know what, the Infiniti, it's going to be cheaper, and it's going to have more horsepower, and Infiniti is known for building a good product that you would probably be better to place your money on for the long term. So anyway, what do you guys think of that? You can leave a comment below. I read all the comments, but if you want a question, it's easy for me to just have them all in one email folder. So go to my website, motormouth.ca, and click around. I'd love for you to see, look at the different videos and things that are on there, and that would be great as well. Click on that contact form and get the questions through. So the questions and answers are back. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks to all of the subscribers that take part in this channel. I will talk to you soon, and make sure you get those questions through.